In 2032, Social Security does not run out of money. That is the myth. The reality is worse in one way and much better in another. The checks keep coming. They just get smaller. 78% of what you were promised still arrives. That is a number you can plan against. Every check, all at once, about 22% lighter. Let me put that in a number you can actually feel. If your benefit is $2,000 a month, a 22% cut takes it to $1,560. That is $440 a month gone, more than $5,000 a year. Not because you did anything wrong, and not because you claimed at the wrong time. It happens because the program is hitting a wall that has been on the calendar for years, and almost nobody built a plan around it. This is not a conspiracy theory, and it is not a doomsday video. The projection comes straight from the Social Security trustees themselves in their most recent report. And here is the part that should get your attention. The date they now give for this is the fourth quarter of 2032. If you are in your late 50s or your 60s today, that is not some distant problem for the next generation. That is your retirement. Today I am going to show you exactly why this cut is coming, why it is very different from Social Security going bankrupt, whether Congress is actually going to ride in and fix it, and, most important of all, the specific way you can build your retirement now so that a 22% haircut is something you survive instead of something that breaks you. That last part is the whole point, so stay with me. Let me explain what is really happening, because the mechanics matter, and they are almost always described wrong. Social Security is funded two ways. Most of the money comes from payroll taxes, the amount taken out of every working person's paycheck right now, which flows in and goes straight back out to today's retirees. For years, more came in than went out, and the surplus was saved in a trust fund. That trust fund is the savings account the system has been leaning on as the baby boomers retired and the flow started to reverse. What the trustees are projecting is that this trust fund, the savings account, runs dry in late 2032. But the payroll taxes do not stop. Workers keep paying in every week. So even with the trust fund empty, the incoming payroll taxes are still enough to cover about 78% of the benefits that were promised. 78% paid means 22% not paid. That is where the cut comes from. It is not zero, and it is not bankruptcy. It is a permanent gap between what was promised and what the current tax flow can actually cover. So picture your benefit again. A $24,000 a year benefit becomes about $18,700. A $36,000 benefit drops to around $28,000. The dollar amount depends on your check, but the percentage lands on everyone at once, on the same date, unless the law changes before then. And whether the law changes is the thing everyone is quietly betting their retirement on, usually without admitting they are betting at all. So here is the obvious question. Congress created this program, Congress can fix it, and cutting everyone's Social Security by 22% is about the least popular thing a politician could ever allow to happen. So they will just fix it, right? Probably. History says they very likely will. The last time Social Security stared down a shortfall like this was 1983. Congress waited until nearly the last moment, then passed a package of changes that kept the checks whole. Most experts expect some version of that again, because letting an automatic across-the-board cut land on tens of millions of voting retirees is politically almost unthinkable. But here is what you cannot afford to miss. Every single fix they could choose is itself a cost to somebody. They can raise the payroll tax, which takes more out of workers. They can raise the full retirement age again, which is simply a benefit cut wearing a different hat because you wait longer for the same money. They can lift the amount of income subject to the tax, which lands on higher earners. They can means test benefits, which quietly trims them for people who saved well. There is no version of the fix where nobody pays. The only real question is who. So betting your retirement on the rescue is really two bets at once. First, that Congress acts in time, when their strong habit is to act at the 11th hour rather than early. And second, that whatever they pass does not land squarely on you. That is a great deal of faith to build a 30-year retirement on. A solid plan does not argue about whether the fix arrives. A solid plan simply does not depend on it. So if this is documented, dated, and coming, why does almost no retiree actually have a plan for it? 3 reasons, and they feed on each other. The first is that one word, will. People have heard they will fix it so many times that the entire subject now sounds like background noise. A kind of learned helplessness sets in. If it is out of my hands and someone else will handle it, then there is nothing for me to do, so I do nothing. That feels perfectly reasonable, and it is exactly the trap. One year the projection is 2034, the next it is 2033, now it is late 2032. Because the number wobbles, people conclude the whole thing is guesswork and tune it out entirely. But look at the direction it keeps moving. It is not getting further away, it is getting closer. The third is that it feels abstract right up until it is not. A percentage cut years from now does not feel like a bill you have to pay. It feels like a headline. And headlines do not change behavior, which is why so many people who will be hit by this directly in their own monthly check have done precisely nothing to prepare. That gap between knowing and doing is the exact thing this video exists to close. Here is who should be paying the very closest attention, because this cut does not land evenly. For roughly 4 in 10 older Americans, Social Security is not extra money on the side. It is the majority of their income. For that group, a 22% cut is not an inconvenience. It is the line between covering the essentials and not, because when a check is already stretched across rent, food, and medicine, there is no slack to absorb a fifth of it simply vanishing. And the timing hits one group especially hard. If you are planning to retire right around the early 2030s, you could walk out the door counting on a full benefit and watch it get cut within a few years of your very first check, at the precise moment you have the least ability to go back to work and make up the difference. The people who are 58, 60, 62 today are standing the closest to this. The people who will be fine are the ones for whom Social Security is one leg of a stool, not the entire chair. If your benefit is 30 or 40% of your retirement income, a cut to that piece stings but does not sink you. If it is 80 or 90%, the same cut is a genuine crisis. Which leg you are standing on is still, to a large degree, something you can influence. And that is exactly what the rest of this video is about. And think about what this does to the timing of the choice. Someone who is 60 today will be 66 when the trust fund is projected to run dry. That is not deep into retirement. That is right at the front door of it. Those are the years when a cut does the most damage. You have just given up your paycheck, and you are leaning on this income more heavily than you ever will again. The closer you are standing to that door, the less time you have to build a cushion, and the more every year between now and then is worth. That is not a reason to panic. It is a reason to start this week instead of next year. So here is the move, and it is not a trick or a loophole. It is a decision to build your retirement so that a 22% cut is survivable rather than catastrophic. 4 parts. Part 1, and this is the foundation. Stress test your plan at 78%. Whatever retirement calculator, spreadsheet, or advisor projection you are working from, run it a second time with your Social Security set to 78% of what they promised you. If the plan still holds at 78%, you can stop losing sleep over this because you are already protected. If it falls apart, then you just found a serious problem while you still have years to fix it, which is the best possible time to find any problem. Part 2. Shrink how much of your retirement leans on Social Security in the first place. Every dollar of income you can build from your own savings, a paid-off home, a pension, a small amount of work you enjoy, is a dollar that a benefit cut cannot touch. You do not have to replace Social Security. You just want it to be one leg of the stool, not the whole thing holding you up. Part 3. If you are still working, use these years on purpose. Raising your savings rate right now while you have a paycheck is the most direct control you have over any of this. A bigger personal nest egg is the cleanest possible hedge against a smaller government check, and it is entirely in your own hands. No act of Congress required. Part 4. Keep some flexibility for whatever the fix turns out to be. Because we know Congress will probably change something, you want a plan that can bend. Money spread across different types of accounts, some room in when and how you claim, so that whatever they eventually pass, you can adjust to it, instead of being locked into one fragile assumption. Now let me stop you from making the one move that fear is going to whisper in your ear, because it is the wrong one. When people hear about this cut, a lot of them think the exact same thing. I had better grab my Social Security early at 62 and lock in my money before they can take it away. It feels shrewd. It is almost always a mistake. Here is why. Claiming early permanently reduces your benefit for the rest of your life, and by a lot, often around 30% compared to waiting. So to dodge a possible 22% cut that Congress may well soften, you would be volunteering for a guaranteed 30% cut that no one can ever reverse. You would be doing to yourself, on purpose and permanently, something worse than the very thing you are afraid of. And if the across-the-board cut still arrives, it can apply on top of your already reduced check. The cut is a reason to build a sturdier plan. It is not a reason to make a panicked, irreversible claiming decision. The people who come through this well will not be the ones who sprinted for the exit first. They will be the ones who kept their heads, kept their options open, and built enough around Social Security that they were never truly depending on any single promise, staying exactly as it was written. Maybe no one has ever walked you through this in plain numbers instead of scary headlines. If you are anywhere near retirement, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Somewhere out there is a person planning to retire on a full Social Security check in the early 2030s. They have no idea it could be trimmed within a few years, and no buffer built for it at all. This channel exists to hand that person a plan while there is still time to build one. Here is your one job this week. Take your retirement plan, however rough it is, and run it once with your Social Security set to 78%. Just that single number changed, nothing else. See whether your plan still stands. If it does, you can breathe out. If it does not, you have not found a disaster. You have found the exact thing to work on, years before it would ever reach you, which is precisely the position everyone in this situation wishes they were standing in. One honest word before you go. The trustees' projections shift a little every year. The eventual fix is genuinely unknown, and how heavily you personally lean on Social Security is specific to you. Sit down with a fee-only advisor and have them stress test your actual plan at a reduced benefit. What I have given you today is the risk in real numbers and the way to build around it. A good advisor turns that into a plan that holds no matter what Congress does or does not do. Meno Jumb.